Good morning, everyone. Oh, let me flip my camera. There we go. I am heading out to work. I'm just pulling out of my driveway right now. Let me get out of here. There we go. So anyways, good morning. It is Wednesday. I think it's the 20th again. I'm starting to think that we're turning into a rainforest. This is craziness. This rain. Rain. Anyway, that's all right. At least on my 2 days off there, I had pretty decent weather. Didn't do a lot on my 2 days off, but sometimes just relaxing is what a person needs. And now I'm back to, physically re-energized, so now I can go back to work and get her done. So I hope everybody's doing well this morning. I don't think anybody's on watching me yet, but that's okay. I'm going to talk anyways because I want to tell you guys something. I want to tell you guys a story about something that happened while I was off this week. And I'll try to make this short so that, if you want to watch the replay, even if you don't get to see me live, maybe you can watch the replay and hear about my little story here. It's a story about what I'd like to call miracles. I am on antidepressants. I take a fixer, and I've been on antidepressants for well over a decade. I do suffer from depression, some pretty serious depression, and the Effexor really, really helps me. But an unfortunate part of being on Effexor is once you're on it, you're kind of addicted to it, and getting off of it is very hard. It's kind of like trying to get off of, it's kind of like trying to quit smoking or getting off of like a major drug. It's pretty abrasive when you're trying to get off of it. But I was not trying to get off of it. I just ran out of pills. And I'm not sure what happened. Because I have at least 2 weeks worth of all the rest of my pills, and they all come at the same time. So I don't know if I threw out the bottle, or I don't know what happened, but I'm missing like 2 weeks worth of pills. Good morning, Gerald. Thanks for joining me. I'm telling a story right now. I was just talking about how I have depression. I suffer from depression, and I take a fixer, and a fixer is very addictive, But anyway, so I ran out of pills on Saturday, and I thought, okay, well, no problem. I'll just call in my prescription and get it refilled through I work with a mail ordered prescription company that sends me stuff. And so I sent off my prescription to them, and I get a notice back saying, we can't order your prescription at this time because it's too soon. And I was like, oh man, that sucks. I'm out of a fixer, and I'm going to start going through withdrawal. Okay. Well, I did. It started Sunday. By Monday, I was in full-blown withdrawal, and I'm talking, I felt nauseous. My body ached. I had a headache. I couldn't think straight. I was getting brain jitters, which is like, brain jitters are like when you move your eyes left and right, you get like this weird electric feeling in your head. It's very strange. It's hard to explain, but I'm getting all these, withdrawal symptoms. So I call Walgreens, and I'm like, if I were to order this, just like a 10-day supply from you guys, how much would it cost me? And it was over $300. And I was like, are you kidding me? $300 for 10 pills? I'm like, oh no, this is not good, And So then I went with Chrissy to the doctor. She had to have an ultrasound done on her kidneys because her kidney functions are a little low and they want to see what's going on. And when she went in to the doctor to like get the ultrasound done, I went out in the car and I sat in the car and I started to pray. I started to pray because I had gotten to the point where I was like, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do. And going through this withdrawal, trying to do my job, how am I going to be doing this? How am I even going to be able to drive? Because like it was getting so bad that any little motion was making me feel sick and all these brain jitters were happening. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I just like broke down and I said, God, I need your help. I don't know what to do. I don't have the money to get these drugs, and I don't know what to do. Please help me. Please help me. And I very rarely pray like that, okay? I really do. I very rarely pray like that. And so then I get done praying and I'm sitting there and I thought, I'm going to call my mom and tell her what's going on. So I called my mom and I was going through what was happening to me and how the effects was, out of my system now, and I was going through withdrawal and I didn't know what to do. And she's like, wait a second, hang on. She puts the phone down because my mom still uses a phone that has a cord on it. She puts the phone down, she runs off. I hear her rumbling, rummaging through something. I can hear in the background. She comes back to the phone. She's like, Rachel, I've got some Effexor. And I'm like, what? Why do you have Effexor? And she's like, when your dad died, they put me on it as an antidepressant, and I only took a few, and I didn't like the way that they felt, and so I still have a card that has a bunch of pills on it. I'm like, get out of here. And she's like, yeah, you can have them. Just come on over. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a miracle. This is a true miracle. I was just praying, and I said to God, I don't know what to do. I need your help. And boom! Out of nowhere, this happens. Now, I suppose you could mark it up to coincidence, but I'm not marking it up to coincidence because it's like God knew 10 years ago that I was going to need these pills at some point. And he got them to my mom, who only took a couple off the card. It was like a sample card. And all the rest were still there, which ends up being exactly the amount I need until July 3rd when I can get my prescription renewed. So even if you think it's a coincidence that she had the card, what are the odds that she would have the exact amount that I need to keep me going until I can get my prescription renewed through my insurance? Is that not the craziest freaking thing? So I don't care what anybody says. There is a God, and God is good, and God is love. I'm not a religious person. I'm not a Bible-thumping Christian. I am a Christian, but I'm not a Bible-thumping Christian. But I'll tell you what, there is power in God. I don't agree with everything that conventional Christians do, but I certainly do believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, that he died for my sins, and that he loves me. Because this is just one of many of these little miracles that have happened in my life, in times where I put everything down and put my faith in God. Where I stopped having faith that I could do everything like some kind of superwoman and just gave it to God and let him handle things. Stuff like this happens to me, So I just wanted to share that little miracle with you guys because I don't know what else to call it, and since I've been hanging out with the Goonies on the Goonie chat, one thing that I've noticed about Mike and Adobe is that they have this non-judgmental, unconditional love for people. And I think that that's like the way that we should be. I think that that's what God intended for us, to be, is like people like that, not materialistic and selfish and self-gratifying and self-inflating, You know, God just wants us to be decent people. And I think that that's exactly what Jesus was trying to preach when he came to this earth, was that, you know, love conquers all. Um, there's a passage in the Bible, Leviticus 19:18, and it says, "Do not revenge on others or continue to hate them, but love your neighbor as yourself." And I think that that is truly the thing that we should have, that we need to be doing. And when, we say neighbor, we're not talking about the person who lives next door. We're talking about neighbors, like the whole world, like anybody that you come into contact with, that you should love them as you love yourself, and that you should love yourself. You should love yourself. You should be kind to yourself and gentle with yourself, and kind and gentle to the people around you, and always help, just be a decent person. So I think without knowing it or acknowledging it, I think that Mike and Adobe are doing God's work out there, by the slabs. I mean, the way that they reach out to humanity and help each other with water and food and everything that they're doing, that is that is something that Jesus would smile all over. You know what I mean? He'd be all about that. And I think that conventional Christians have forgotten that love one another is one of the greatest commandments ever written. Judgment, being judgy, that doesn't help anybody with anything. It just makes things worse. It just causes hate and resentment. So, I'm proud to be a Goonie. I'm proud of the work that Adobe and Mike are doing to help their fellow human beings. I believe in their mission, and I feel like I'm a better person because I have gotten to know them, and you guys. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope that wasn't preachy. Please forgive me if it was. I wasn't trying to be. I was just trying to share. Yes, I agree with you, Gerald. I completely agree with you, and that's how a lot of Christians are, but not all of them. And I'm hoping that I can help people understand that the greatest commandment that Jesus ever gave us was to love one another, and to love God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind. Yeah, there's, and I think I might have mentioned this before, but I'm not sure if I have, but my grandfather was a pastor, and my grandfather was kind of a fire and brimstone pastor. He was, but gentle and kind as well, and I think that I got really spoiled by hearing him preach when I was a kid. My grandpa, didn't just talk the talk, he walked the walk, okay? He preached for free at the Milwaukee Rescue Mission for 30 years, okay? Helping out the homeless people, and even sometimes taking homeless people in at his house because the rescue mission was full because it was so cold outside or something, And he really he instilled this non-judgmental philosophy in me that has stuck with me my entire life. And he was the kind of Christian that all Christians should aspire to be, only help. Don't be judgy. Don't be throwing shade at people who may look different than you, or who are gay, or who might have had an abortion, or whatever. Don't throw shade at people. You don't know what their life is like. You don't know what it is to be them, and my grandpa never threw shade at anybody, regardless of their color, regardless of what they believed, regardless of what they were wearing, or he didn't throw shade at anybody, okay? He loved them. He opened his arms and threw his arms around everybody that he met. And that is the whole story of the prodigal son, you know? The prodigal son, he had a rich father, and he said, hey, Dad, give me my inheritance now. I want to go spend it and live my life. So his dad did. He gave him his inheritance. He was very wealthy. So the kid goes out and, buys new clothes, basically does sex, drugs, and rock and roll, spends all the money, and ends up living in absolute poverty. He was so hungry, he was eating the pig's food, okay? Finally, he realized, hey, man, I need to go home. I need to go home and face my father. Maybe my dad will let me be a slave in his house, and at least then I'll get a meal. Hi, Robert. So the prodigal son goes home, expecting his dad to, totally bitch him out and throw him out. But his dad comes running. His dad sees him coming down the road. He goes running to his son, throws his arms around his son, hugs him, takes him into the house, gets those dirty clothes off of him that smell like a pig pen, put on new clothes, feeds him, gives him wine, takes care of him, and says, you know what, son, I'm just glad you're home. I don't care about anything else. I am just... is how everyone should treat everybody. You shouldn't judge them by their looks, by the way they smell, by what they believe. You just need to throw your arms around your fellow human being and say, you know what, I'm just glad you're here. I'm just glad you're here. You will bring something to the table. You have something positive about you, something amazing that you're going to be able to share with somebody, and you're going to help change their lives because of something in you. Maybe it's something you don't even know about yourself yet. But every single person deserves love. Every single person deserves respect. And even if they've done something terrible, they're still a human being. Now, I'll be honest with you. If somebody came into my house and killed one of my loved ones, I think I'd have a very, very hard time forgiving that person. But you know what? I would really try. I would really try. If somebody came into my house and killed one of my loved ones and then they got caught and they went to jail, I'd be visiting that person in jail all the time and telling them, I love you and I forgive you. I hate what you did, but I love you, and you're a person and you're alive, and hating you isn't going to bring my loved one back. So I'm going to fill up the rest of your days with love and kindness and hope that somehow through my actions you will become a better person. That's what I would do, because I believe in the power of forgiveness, and I believe in the power of positivity. And that is what I see when I'm with the Goonies. And I wonder if you guys feel that too. I mean, they have their squabbles now and then, but the one thing that you see time and time and time again is that these people come back together and work through it and then go out and help people. There are millions of Christians who sit in churches every single Sunday praising God and singing, singing and passing the collection plate and listening to the pastor preach, but there are millions of Christians who do nothing to help their fellow human beings. Now, there's quite a few who do, don't get me wrong, okay? Like the church my mom goes to, they really help, okay? They have a food pantry, they have a school, they have a bus that goes out and picks up people who can't make it to church. If somebody needs a ride someplace, the people of the church band together and help that person get where they need to go. They are good Christians, okay? They're the way that Christians should be, and they're pretty non-judgmental. They're a little bit judgy, but I can tolerate it when I go to church on Christmas and Easter. It's not something that really grates against me. But there are so many churches out there where the people just throw shade. That's all that they do. And that gets on my last nerve, because that is not something that Jesus would be okay with. So those are my religious feelings, or spiritual feelings, really. I'm not a religious person, but I am spiritual. And that it's all about the soul, right? My favorite verse in the Bible is John 3:16. Just about everybody knows it. For God so loved the world, not the straight world, not the white world, not the rich world, the world. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, meaning your soul, but have everlasting life. It's that simple. Nothing more needs to be said. So, anyways, you guys, thank you, Gerald and Robert, for hanging out with me and listening to me go ranting. On that happy note, I'm going to go have a beer. No, I'm just kidding. It's a little bit early in the morning for that. Maybe in an hour. Oh, I'm so sassy. All right, you guys, I love you. I hope that you have a great day. Do something kind for someone today. Well, hey, it's liquid bread. What's the difference, right? Toast or beer? I'm going to choose beer. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys later on some of the Goonie Chats type things, okay? I love you. Mwah. Goodbye.